A shadow flickers in the night, a low growl sends shivers down your spine. It's not the stuff of horror movies, it's the terrifying reality of a rabid animal encounter. Rabies, a word whispered with fear, represents a danger as old as time. It's a silent stalker lurking in the shadows, ready to erupt with unpredictable fury. We share our world with creatures of instinct, their behavior often a mystery. But rabies twists their nature, turning playful creatures into agents of chaos, their bite a conduit for a deadly virus. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about understanding a very real threat. It's about respecting the wild while arming ourselves with knowledge, the ultimate weapon against this silent killer. Because when rabies strikes, it's a race against time, a desperate fight for survival, and sometimes the difference between life and death is knowing what to do when the shadows stir. Imagine a peaceful morning jog, the air crisp and the world just waking up. Suddenly the tranquility is shattered by the snarling charge of a stray dog, its eyes locked onto you. This wasn't a playful nip, this was different. The dog's teeth bared, its growl deep and menacing. The animal, eyes wild with a terrifying light, lunged with a ferocity that spoke of something deeply wrong, something primal and dangerous. The runner, caught off guard, felt the searing pain of teeth sinking into flesh, a pain that was both sharp and burning. It wasn't just a physical attack, it was the beginning of a terrifying ordeal, one that would test their strength and resolve. In another corner of the world, a young girl playing in her backyard felt the unexpected scratch of a seemingly harmless bat, a creature she had always found fascinating. The small wound seemed insignificant at first, easily dismissed as a minor scrape from an innocent encounter. But within days, the girl developed a fever, her behavior growing erratic, her fear mirroring the growing concern of her parents, who watched helplessly. The bat, it turned out, carried the silent killer rabies, a disease that lurks in the shadows waiting to strike. These are not isolated incidents, they are echoes of a danger that lurks wherever wildlife and humans intersect, a reminder of the thin line between our worlds. Each year, countless encounters end in tragedy, families devastated by the silent stalker that is rabies, a disease that leaves heartbreak in its wake. But there are also stories of survival, of quick thinking and medical intervention that snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. Rabies isn't a disease to be taken lightly, it's a virus, but not just any virus. This one targets the nervous system, turning its host into a vessel of aggression. Once the virus enters the body, through saliva most commonly, it begins its insidious journey. It travels along the nerves, a silent invader making its way to the brain. The symptoms, when they appear, are as varied as they are terrifying. Fever, headache, and muscle weakness can be easily dismissed as the flu. But then comes the fear of water, the paralysis, the hallucinations. These are the hallmarks of a virus taking hold, twisting the body's natural responses into a macabre dance. The virus doesn't discriminate. It can infect any mammal from the smallest bat to the largest dog. But the danger to humans is very real. Once symptoms appear, the prognosis is grim. Rabies is almost always fatal. Every hour counts. Every minute matters. That's the stark reality of a potential rabies infection. The virus may be slow to show its face, but once symptoms appear, the window of opportunity for effective treatment slams shut. Immediate action is not a choice, it's a necessity. Thorough wound cleaning is the first crucial step, washing away as much of the virus as possible. But the real weapon in this fight is the rabies vaccine and immunoglobulin. Administered promptly, they can stimulate the body's defenses, giving it a fighting chance to neutralize the virus before it wreaks havoc. But time is the enemy. The longer the virus goes unchecked, the deeper it burrows into the nervous system, making treatment increasingly difficult, the outcome more uncertain. That's why understanding the urgency, the absolute need for immediate medical attention, can be the difference between life and death. Section 5, Voices from the Brink, Survivors' Tales. I remember the fear, says Sarah, her voice trembling slightly as she recalls her encounter with a rabid raccoon. The memory is still vivid, etched into her mind like a scar that refuses to fade. It wasn't like any animal I'd ever seen. Its eyes were wild and its movements were erratic, almost as if it were possessed by some dark force. It was like something out of a nightmare, the kind of terror that grips you and doesn't let go, even when you wake up. Sarah survived, thanks to a combination of luck, quick thinking, and immediate medical attention. The paramedics arrived just in time, and the doctors knew exactly what to do, but her story is a stark reminder of the ever-present danger. Rabies is not something to be taken lightly. It lurks in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity. Doctors and nurses on the front lines of this battle have their own stories to tell. They are the unsung heroes, facing the threat head-on every day. "We see the terror in their eyes," says Dr. Emily Carter, an ER physician. "The fear is palpable, a silent scream for help, the realization that something is terribly wrong. It's a moment of clarity that can be both a curse and a blessing." But Dr. Carter also emphasizes the power of hope. In the darkest moments, hope can be a guiding light, a beacon that leads the way to recovery. With prompt treatment, we can often prevent the worst. Early intervention is crucial, and it can make all the difference. But the key is awareness, knowing the risks, and acting fast. Education and vigilance are our best defenses against this silent killer. These are the voices of experience, whispers of warning, and reminders of resilience. They speak of battles fought and won, of lives saved and lost. They paint a vivid picture of the human cost of rabies, but also of the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Together, they stand as a testament to the power of survival and the unbreakable will to live. Section 6. The Weapon of Knowledge. Empowering yourself. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to rabies. Understanding the enemy is the first step in protecting ourselves and our loved ones. We need to be aware of the animals that can carry rabies. Raccoons, bats, skunks, and foxes are common culprits, but any mammal can potentially harbor the virus. Recognizing the signs of a rabid animal is equally crucial. Aggression, disorientation, foaming at the mouth, these are red flags that should never be ignored. Education isn't just about memorizing facts, it's about changing behavior, about making informed choices that minimize risk. Knowing what to do in case of an encounter can be life-saving. Avoiding contact with wild animals, vaccinating pets, and seeking immediate medical attention after a bite or scratch are paramount. Knowledge empowers us to take control, to shift from fear to informed action. Section 7. The first line of defense. Avoiding the bite. Prevention is not just better than cure, it's the best defense against rabies. Avoiding contact with wild animals is paramount. Admire them from a distance, but don't engage. Teach children to do the same. Curiosity may be natural, but it should never come at the cost of safety. Vaccinating pets is another non-negotiable. Dogs, cats, and ferrets can be vaccinated against rabies, creating a crucial barrier of protection for both them and their human families. Regular vet visits are not just about cuddles and treats, they're about responsible pet ownership and safeguarding the health of the entire household. Securing garbage and pet food is another important step in deterring unwanted animal encounters. Don't inadvertently invite wildlife into your backyard. Make your property less attractive to them, and you reduce the risk of a potentially dangerous encounter. Section 8. When encounters turn critical immediate actions. Despite our best efforts, encounters with wild or unfamiliar animals do happen. If you find yourself facing a potentially rabid animal, remember these life-saving steps. First and foremost, do not approach or attempt to touch the animal. Maintain a safe distance. If it's a pet, contact the owner immediately. If bitten or scratched, the clock is ticking. Wash the wound thoroughly with soap and water for at least 15 minutes. This simple act can help flush away the virus. Then, seek medical attention immediately. Don't wait for symptoms to appear. By then, it might be too late. Report the incident to animal control or local authorities. Your information could help prevent future encounters and protect others in your community. Remember, vigilance and swift action are our strongest allies in the fight against rabies. Section 9. A shared responsibility, protecting ourselves and our communities. Rabies is not just a personal threat, it's a community concern. It affects not only individuals but also the well-being of our neighborhoods and the safety of our public spaces. It requires a collective effort to minimize risk and protect those around us. By working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. Educate your neighbors, friends, and family. Inform them about the dangers of rabies and the steps they can take to prevent it. Share your knowledge about rabies prevention and the importance of responsible pet ownership. Encourage others to vaccinate their pets and keep them safe. Support local animal control efforts. These professionals are essential in managing stray populations and ensuring that potentially rabid animals are dealt with promptly. They play a crucial role in managing stray populations and responding to reports of potentially rabid animals. Their work helps maintain the safety of our communities. Advocate for rabies vaccination programs for wildlife in your area. These initiatives are vital in controlling the spread of rabies among wild animals. These programs can significantly reduce the incidence of rabies in wild animal populations, creating a safer environment for everyone. Our world is shared, and we must take care of it together. We have a responsibility to coexist peacefully and safely with the creatures around us. By respecting wildlife and their habitats, we contribute to a balanced ecosystem. By understanding the risks of rabies, taking preventive measures, and acting decisively when necessary, we can protect ourselves, our loved ones, and future generations from this silent stalker. Together, we can make a difference.